session recording has started. As soon as we log in, I'm going to share my screen with you. As soon as we finish, the video will start rendering, and it'll take about 45 minutes to render, but it will be posted on Facebook as well as YouTube today, and you will get an email with that video. So it is being recorded. You will be able to access this afterwards. Again, this is really just meant to be a review for you to be able to go in and actually edit your website. If you have any questions at any time, please feel free to type them in the chat box. I will be going back to those frequently, but now you should be able to see my screen. So as you get to your website, you actually would scroll down to the very bottom of the screen, and there's two things. There's an IQ Office login, and there's an IQ Web login. If you do not know your website, you are going to go into your IQ Office. You're going to click on your name in the upper right-hand corner and go to your profile. As you scroll about halfway down on that screen, there's a section that says website address. That is your website address. You can go there and get your website address, or you can ask your office administrator and they can go ahead and get you that information. To log into your edit mode, you're going to go to the IQ Web login in the lower right-hand corner, and you're going to type in your username and password. When you do that, it's going to process, and you will know that you're entering into your IQ edit mode because you'll get this black bar at the very top of the screen. I do want to make sure just right now as we start, does anyone have any questions about how to find their website or how to log in to edit their website? If you have any questions at all, please, awesome. Please type that into the chat box. If you don't understand, please type I don't get it in the box. If you are ready to go to the next thing, type yes in the chat box so that I know that you understand where we're at. Perfect. Everybody good to go on how to log in? Awesome. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to go back to the screen share. So as you log in, if you've never logged into your website before, you're going to start in this section called Design. That is where, as an agent or an office admin, you can choose the layout for your office or for your website. There are several different designs to choose from. There are several new ones that have just come out. So it looks like right now we have about 32 different designs. You simply click on the design that you like. You'll see a preview on the left-hand side of the screen, as well as a bulleted list of what that includes on the right-hand screen. You can choose this color scheme, which changes the colors of the button on your website. And take some time here if you've never logged in, really making sure that you choose the design that you like. Once you've located the design that you want to use, click on the green Use This Design. That actually will then allow you to go in. I just want to choose a design that has a lot of choices. That will actually then allow you to go in, and it will automatically update your website with all of the layout choices and allow you to change things. So once you've chosen your design, you can actually click that edit page in the upper right-hand corner, and then that is going to show you everything that is editable on the screen. So if you see this pencil mark, you're able to edit that section on your screen. Does anybody have any questions about choosing the design of your website or about where to go to start the editing process? If you do not have any questions, type no in the chat box. Awesome. Amy, Stacy, Roy, do you have any questions? Okay, perfect. So if you want to change your header images, you simply click on this edit button right here, and that will open up an edit screen. When you click through the slides, it will allow you to choose any of those images you'd like. So as these images scroll, that is what the different slides are. To change an image, all you have to do is click this blue change button on the lower right-hand corner, and then you'll go into your realistic images, and you can choose from stock photos here, or if you've uploaded your own images, those will show up underneath my images here, and you can enter in your own images. If you choose a realistic image, there's choices underneath categories, so you can choose different lifestyle, you can choose different golf, you can choose different holidays, which usually go by either seasons or certain holidays. So I can go in and I can say, hey, it's spring, let's do this tulips. That will change just that slide. If you've chosen a design that offers video, you can actually choose a video from the stock images here. You click change and you can actually choose from several videos that are available through IQ. Once you've chosen all of the information for that video, make sure here, do you want properties for sale or for lease? What kind of property do you want to search? What subtype? And do you want to show additional search fields, yes or no? Once you've made all your changes, click on the OK button, and it will exit you out to your main screen again. Something to keep in mind as you go is this green Save button. If you do not click that green Save button when it shows up, you're going to be very, very sad because you will lose all your changes. So anytime that green Save button shows, please make sure that you click it. As you scroll down, there are several other options. So if you want to hide a section, for example, if you wanted to hide this blog section, you could click this hide button in the upper right-hand corner, and you're just going to say, yes, I wish to hide that call out section. Again, that green Save button shows, so you're going to click that green Save button in the upper right-hand corner. If you choose that you want to show that section, you would just click on the blue, click here to show call out, click OK, and again, then it will resave. To edit any information on these panels, again, all you have to do is click the edit button and it will show all the panels. You can add panels, you can take panels away. You can also change where these link to. So for example, this title is Finding a Home, discover how the dream of finding a home can be a reality. The button 1 text, which is the button underneath here, this button, let's get started. You could actually say, start your search today. And then you choose where you want that link to go. Do you want it to go to my portal? Do you want it to go to, so I can say, hey, I want this to go to my for sale listings. I want this to go to lease listings. I want it to go to a community page that my office has created. I want it to go to an other page, which would be like the communities, my portal, your blog. And so I'm going to say I'd like it to go to my portal. Okay. And to change all the other panels, you would just go through and say, okay, selling a home. It's a big move, literally. I like that. find your office. Maybe you want this to be learn more about me. And then you could select this link. You would say, again, IQ Pages. You'd go down. As an agent, underneath this other, you're going to have a button that says About Me. You'd click OK. Again, you'd click OK, and it's going to show you all of your changes. Again, if that green Save button shows up, please click Save. How is everybody doing? We're about 15 minutes in. So it's about 11 after the hour. I logged in a little bit early, so we started right at the top of the hour. Do you have any questions so far about how to change images or links on your home page? Awesome. Cool, cool. So the next section of this that I want to show you is the ability to create your own pages. So at the top of the screen, next to the web editor bar, there is a section called Pages. This is where you can actually go in and start to create your own content. I've done a lot of these pages, so there's a lot of them in here. I'm going to go in and I'm going to say, okay, I'd like to create a new page. And then you're going to choose the template. So all of these templates at the top, template 1 through 16, are what I would call a static template. And what that means is if you put information in one of these templates, it does not automatically update. You have to manually go in and update the pages. As you scroll down, there's also a section called Dynamic Pages. And what a dynamic page is it gives you the ability to set up a page that is pulling information from another source and automatically updating. So your listings and your areas are automatically pulling from your MLS. Your agents template is automatically pulling from your agents. Your showcase or your luxury are automatically pulling from your MLS. We're going to do one of each type of these pages so that you can see the difference in the two of them. And we're going to start with a static template. I'm going to do template 12. Once you select your template, you're going to click the next button in the lower right-hand corner. And then you're going to name your page. So I'm going to name this page Sold Listings. If your company is using the financial section of IQ, your sold listings will automatically pull to your profile depending on your state laws. However, if you wanted to create your own sold listings page, I'm just going to show you how to do that today. So I'm going to say recently sold. In the description, you're going to write a keyword-rich description. And I just want to know how many of you know what a keyword is. Sorry, yeah. So this is where we kind of get into the land of how do search engines work and how does information get processed through Google and Yahoo and all of that. And I'm going to give you the simplest explanation that I can. When Google or Yahoo or Bing or whatever search engine is out there, there's so much information on the internet right now that no one can possibly consume that information in a lifetime. So when you're linking a keyword description to your page, You are helping search engines to know what your page is about without having them have to read your whole page. It's kind of like the cliff notes of what the entire page is about. So in the real estate world, if I'm writing a keyword description for a page about solds, I am going to write something like this. Would you like to see the recently sold listings in the Dallas-Fort Worth area? The average price point is included as well as price per square foot. Real estate market right now is great, and get more results that are up to date than you'll find on Zillow. It's going to have those keywords that people are putting in the search bar when they're searching for real estate in that description box. Does that make sense to everyone? Cool. So now we've talked about keyword descriptions. The next thing we're going to talk about is registration. Do you want people to have to register to see your page? Yes or no? And this is my belief on it. If it is information that they can go out onto the internet and find somewhere else, they should not be forced to register for it, because if you force someone to register for it, it's going to do one of two things. Either they're going to register and be frustrated that they're getting information, or two, they're not going to register and they're going to go somewhere else to get the information anyway. So if it's something like listings or information about you or something like that, there's really no need to have people register to see that. You want them to be able to access that information easily and quickly. Now, if it's information about what is sold in the area, that might be something that you want them to register for. If it is a list about the top 5 things to do before you move, if it is a, perhaps it's your blog, perhaps it's something like that, then I'm going to say, yes, I want it to be required. It's content that I have curated and I want them to register to see it. Now you have a couple different types of registration. You can nag them. A nagging type is, I think about like my dad asking me to clean my room when I was little, and he would ask me and ask me and ask me and ask me. And then finally he'd say, hey, I'm going to set a kitchen timer and anything that's left on the floor is going to Goodwill. That's a nag. And you're going to say, hey, I want them to be asked every other time or every time they come. I just want them to be asked to fill out a form. You also have the option of offering. That means it's offered that they can register. If they don't want to register, they just X out of the box and they get the information anyway. The third option is forcing them. And that means they cannot see the information unless they register. So I'm sure that you all noticed there's also a nag, this only with pay-per-click option. So it is possible that you can create a page that offers a registration, but it only does it with pay-per-click. That means that if you're paying for advertising and you're directing people to this page, your website is smart enough to know that that came from a pay-per-click source. And if they're just getting to it through a menu on your regular page, it's not going to ask them to register. Does that make sense? Margaret, I just momentarily turned my screen off. So I just want to make sure that nag. Yep. So no, you're fine. I would rather have people, by the way, if something doesn't make sense or you need more information, please ask, because I do want to make sure that you're all understanding it. So registration required. You can nag, you can offer, or you can force. A nag, it's going to ask you every so many times. An offer, it's going to suggest it, but you can exit out. Force means they have to fill out the lead form before they can get to the information. If you choose one of the options that's with only for pay-per-click, then it's only going to ask them to register if it's coming from a paid lead source that you, the company, or you, the agent, are paying for. After you choose the type of registration you want, you do need to make sure that you choose a lead source, and these are going to vary based on what your company has to offer. Is everybody good to go to the next section? The next section we're going to talk about is meta tags, which is also a lot of information. So how many of you know what a meta tag is? Awesome. So how many of you remember going to the library and checking out books using a card catalog? Like you actually went to a box that had index cards in it. Awesome. That makes explaining this way easier. So a meta tag, that's what this section is. When we all used to go to the library and check out books using index cards, on that index card, there were things that said what section and a little bit of information. So it had like, it's in the nonfiction section, in the biography realm, it's a historical figure, and it's written by this person. That's how they categorize it. So those act as tags for where to find the book in the library. A meta tag acts as a tag for where Google, Yahoo, Bing are going to look for your page in the library of the internet. So your keyword description is like your Cliff Notes version of what the page is about. Your meta tags are like your card catalog section of what section it is in. So putting things like real estate for sale, real estate agent, all of that, you're going to tag it. So you might put real estate, and then you might put real estate for sale in San Francisco, California, depending on what market you're in. You're going to put your market in that meta tag value. Does that make sense to everybody? Cool. So you can add your meta tags here. You do not have to add your meta tags right now. I'm going to show you how you can go back and add them if you wish. And then the next section underneath that says, to which menu should we add this page to? We're going to say, I don't want to add this to a menu at this time. I'm going to show you how to do that as well. So far we have named the page. We've talked about registration. We've talked about meta tags. If you're an office administrator, you can choose yes underneath, make this page available to all, and it will be available to all your agents in your office. And then you're going to click OK. Once you click OK, it's going to show you the entire layout of the page. So again, in that upper right-hand corner, we have the option to edit the page. And then anything that shows with a pencil is something that we can edit. Again, anything that's showing with one of these mountains is something that you can insert an image for. You can choose from stock images or from your images. I'm just going to go in and I'm going to say this image. So now I can see that image here. I've got that green save button in the upper right hand corner. So I'm going to click it. I'm going to change the header. I'm going to say sold April 2019. Again, green save button. Now I'm going to write my body. So this defaults to Latin. It does that because if we wrote something really nice in all these blocks, you would never go in and change it. And so now you're just going to type your information here. It might be talking about the neighborhood. It might be talking about staging. It might be talking about what to expect. Hey, this home sold within 5 days of listing. Escrow took 45 days. Really excited for these new homeowners. Some things they did really well. You can put whatever information you want in there. Then I can see here it's all been edited. And this page is now existing. Now this page only exists at this URL. I do not have it attached to any menu yet. So you have really two choices. And it depends on what you're going to use your page for. If you want to link this to a menu, we absolutely can do that. We can go in. I'm going to show you underneath menus how to link it to a menu here so that people can find it on your page. You also, maybe you don't want to link it to a menu because you just want to have it go used as a lead page. So you can actually bookmark this by clicking on the star next to the URL, and you can choose a folder. So you could actually say, hey, from my bookmarks bar, it's going to be called Recently Sold, and I want to link it to my lead pages. Once you do that, you click Done, and then you've saved that page. Are there any questions about how to link that to your bookmarks bar right off the bat? Cool. So the next thing that you are able to do, if you would like, is link it to a menu. And the way that you do that is you go up into the menus. And if you want to link it to this main top menu, you're going to choose your site menu. And then you're going to click Edit. Then you're going to choose where you want to link that to. So I could actually say, I want to link this to What's My Home Worth. I'm going to click the Edit next to the section I'd like to add it to. Then I'm going to go to Custom Pages. I'm going to open it here, and I'm going to go down to Recently Sold. And I'm going to say it's a submenu of this. I'm going to add it. I can see now, here it is. I click Save. And now when I go to What's My Home Worth, I can see that What is Sold option here. So again, we went to Menus. We edited the site menu. We chose the section we wanted to edit. We selected the page. We named the page, and we added it to the menu. Any questions there on how to add it to a menu? Awesome. So the last part that we're going to do today is we are going to create a dynamic page. And to do that, again, you go up to the pages. We're going to add a new page. And as you scroll to the bottom, there are dynamic pages here. And you can choose, we're just going to do this areas template 1. And then we're going to click next. Now I'm going to click through this next section very quickly because we've already talked about the name, title, and description, and registration, and meta tags, and all of that. So we're just going to call this new listings. And then we're going to create the page. I've already created a page like that. Now again, here it is, today's deals. And now I can edit the page. When I edit the page, I can edit the images. We've been through that. We've been through how to edit the text. I can see here that there's an optional areas map. If you want to show the map, you click yes. And then you could type in an address, or you can drag the pin to where you want this to be centered. Once you do that, you click OK, and that map is going to be saved here. We've shown you how to edit the text. That happens here. You can link a YouTube video, you can link a blog, or you can link Yelp to this site. I think the Yelp link is really cool. You can actually click edit and you can say, hey, I want to show Yelp and I want to show like active life. I want to show education. I want to show food. I want to show swimming. And then it's actually going to pull up from Yelp each of those areas. So here, active life, what's happening? Education. Okay, food, home services. I just think that's a really cool little thing. Underneath that, you can actually see here where now there are blank with information sections, and this is where your listings are going to go in. When I click to edit this, a criteria form comes up, and here you're going to type the area. So I could actually say, hey, I want to do community Elko City. You can put price min and max in. You can do reduced days. You can do things with only images. You can do things with only golf courses or only open houses. Think about what kind of page you're making and then decide what you'd like it to be. So once I click OK, I can see here that it's automatically populating all the listings. It's also showing me how many listings are available, what the average price per square foot, and what the average list price is, as well as the listing statistics for prices. You do not have to edit this. This automatically populates for you. Are there any questions on that section? So something to keep in mind is I think it's a really good idea to set up a whole bunch of pages based on community, based on price point, based on open houses, based on new price reductions, based on price bracket. So bracketing those things that are, 150 to 200 and 200 to 250 and 250 to 300. It gives you great content to share on social media. It also gives you the ability to actually have a browse for property and have a bunch of different choices underneath there for people of what they would be looking for. As you scroll down, you can see there's a section here. So you could actually add in titles about communities with images here. To do that, you just click the edit button here. You can see, hey, there's all panels. Where do you want them to go? So you could actually build out a whole bunch of different communities and have them linked at the bottom if you'd like. And again, at the top, there's a section that says optional menu goes here. So when we went and did this menus, did you notice your site menu? You could actually go in and you can create an additional menu. And you could say, hey, I want this one to go here, and it's going to show all the menu items you have underneath that menu. How's everybody doing? It's a lot of information in 35 minutes. Rob, Roy, Amy, how you doing? You want to make sure you're getting as much information as you can. It gets easier as you go in and do it. I'm going to show you one last trick so that you know what it is, and then your challenge will really be to put it on your calendar and schedule out about an hour to go in and work on your page. So the last thing I want to show you is about linking your Google Analytics ID as well as your Facebook Pixel ID. So if you're running any kind of advertising on Google or Facebook, you can actually link your page to those by clicking on the advanced page. When you click on advanced, you can go down to Google Analytics, and you just paste your tracking ID here. If you do not know where your Google Analytics tracking ID is, if you click here, it's going to show you where to go find that. The same thing is true underneath the Facebook pixel. So, hey, you need to click your Facebook pixel here. Here's how you go find it. Lastly, if you need to change something on your page as far as registration or meta tags go, if you click on page options and go to meta tags, you actually can go in, you can change the title of the page as well as the description and the registration options, and you can always add meta tags here. So the next challenge, oh sure, Stacy. So you go into your advanced, and then you go down to Facebook Pixel ID. If you don't know where to find it, you click here, and it will open up that helper box. No problem. So that is in 37 minutes, how to go in, edit your website, log in to edit your website, choose your design, create custom pages, link your Facebook pixel and your Google Analytics, and edit your meta tags. That's a ton of information. It's an overwhelming amount of information. So if you don't put a time on your calendar to go in and actually work on this, you'll never remember anything. I'm going to hang out and answer any questions that you have for about 3 minutes. That gives you an extra 20 minutes right now to go in and work on your website. But I also would highly encourage you, especially if you've never been in your website, to schedule about an hour to an hour and a half to go in and set up all the information so that you have some time on your calendar to do that. I also would recommend when you're doing it to set a kitchen timer so that when your time is up, you go and actually talk to people. Because without talking to people, your business cannot grow. So this is the time. If you have any questions at all, I want to make sure that you understand and you know where to start. Awesome, Stacy. I'm glad you're putting it on your calendar. If I don't put it on my calendar, it doesn't exist. Roy, do you have any questions? Shayna, Rob, Margaret? You're welcome, Shayna. If there are no other questions, I'm going to end this in just about 60 seconds, so just under a minute. I want to make sure I give you enough time that if you have questions, you can type them in that box. Again, you'll get a copy of this recording, and it will be posted on our Facebook and our YouTube channel. If you don't know what the Facebook and the YouTube channel are, let me show them to you now. So you can actually go to Facebook, and I cleared all my cache and my history today. So you can actually go into your realistic users. Here is our Facebook page. And that is a really good place to look. You also can go to our YouTube channel. And YouTube is a little bit easier to navigate because they have a search function and Facebook doesn't. But underneath realistic support, here is our channel. You can go into videos or you can go into playlists. And there's a whole bunch of information here. You can also search on YouTube by clicking this search button. Awesome. Well, if there are no other questions, I hope you all have a